This is by far one of my personal, most negative attributes that I hold. Being used, exploited, taken advantage of, it's all the same thing. I read an article today that really hit home for me and went something like this. One of the issues that many people struggle with, including myself, is recognizing when they're being used, which is when a person avails themselves of something or someone as a meaning of accomplishing their chief aim. They exploit what they perceive as a vulnerability in order to gain an advantage. While in many instances it's quite obvious that you're being used, like when someone starts suddenly spending a lot of time with you and then they ask you for something, and then once they've got it, they either ask you for something else or just move to someone else. Being used is something that, like abuse, can creep up on you and catch you unaware. When you recognize it, you may doubt yourself, especially if you tend to see people in the best version of themselves or you're inclined to absorb the blame. Using is likely to have an element of targeting, recognizing that a person can be used, with it sometimes coming down to exploiting what they perceive as that person's vulnerabilities, which may just be their good traits, such as being giving or trustworthy. If you're in a situation like this, ask yourself why you were chosen. And I assure you, it has nothing to do with your own worth, and everything to do with how the situation could work for the other party. And yes, it's very possible that they thought you could be flattered by being chosen. It's kind of like those people who randomly send you a message, text, Facebook, email, whatever. Why do they flip through their Rolodex of people to connect with you? They see their actions in more of a benevolent light, as if to say that they're doing you some big flippin' favor by being in your life. Some sort of reasoning that they think you'd be thrilled to be around them by. They rationalize this by getting something out of it and say that you're getting something out of it too, which isn't really that true. They overvalue what they think that they're giving you, but it's not giving. It's a hidden agenda. And it's also very patronizing. You're being taken for a ride, possibly literally. It's why you can feel so hurt after recognizing that you've been used. You may have taken them for face value, trusted them, given, whether it's financially, physically, or mentally. Users are disguised as people who may start out with good intentions and have screwed up, and they recognize it and they sought to make amends with you, or at least said that they've stopped their bad habits, stopped their bad ways. By fact, they've been veering between seeking to get their needs and wishes and expectations met by force through you. If you feel like you're being used, you're very likely being used, whether it's in a friendship or a relationship. These things should feel like a friendship or a relationship. Used is simply feeling and looking like being used. Stop giving to someone who doesn't give back. Stop giving value to people who don't value you or connect with you. Don't waste time on someone who doesn't have the same goals that you have, and value the time that you have, because giving is a fucking good trait to have. And giving your time is the most valuable thing you can possibly do in this lifetime. You might as well give it to someone who matters. Somebody who's willing to give back.